everyone, welcome to Latest Sundays. Today, for the 11th episode, we're going to be doing something, a different album. For the last three albums or so, we'll be doing, I don't know, hip hop or reggaeton. This time, we're going to be doing something on the opposite side of the spectrum. We're going to be talking about Animal Collective, specifically their debut, Spirit or Gone, Spirit or Vanish.
My dogs are barking. Oh, everything is just intent on root. You know what? We keep going. I think this means we keep going. I think this means we're back. We've never been back. I'm just going to keep talking while they're barking. Actually, I should probably mute. Would be the best thing. But no. We'll just do it. We'll keep doing it. We'll do it live.
Yeah, this is good for comedy.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But let's keep going.
Okay. Their debut album that released in the year 2000.
Before they were Animal Collective.
Yeah.
Right.
That is true. Because it was like originally like just a collaboration between Avid Earth and Pandaver. And then like 2003 they just formed. Okay, we're just gonna be Animal Collective now. I guess to give a little bit of my history with the album. I first heard this album for the first time back in 2021, like early 2021. The first time that I listened to it, I absolutely despised it. I thought it was one of the worst albums I've ever heard. I thought it was unlistenable. I didn't like the noise parts. I didn't like how weird it is. But over the years, at the very least from my second listen and onwards, I kind of grown to appreciate it. Still, this is definitely the reason why I picked this album was not necessarily because I like it, but because it is a very, I don't know, it is a very weird album. Like, it is very experimental, even by the band standards. And I don't think I can really think of anything else that sounds like this. But I guess I can let Blaiden talk about his experiences with this.
What is going on? Hold on. Everything is so intent on stopping me from getting my feelings out here, my opinions. My Discord just crashed. I saw that Ninchi is live, and I wanted, I do want to talk about this album, but I also want to get on Ninchi's live. So, but we can reel it back in. Because I'm not gonna lie, this is an album that I went into. And I don't want to get to my opinions too quickly, but this is an album that I thought I was going to despise because I know that this is the Abrasion album. This is the squeaky, scratchy sound album, and so I went into it fully expecting just to completely dislike it, and I'm not going to say that that's what happened, but this is an album that I feel like for its brevity and for the amount that I have to say about generally every track, I think going track by track, I would prefer to go track by track here. I'm not going to lie.
Okay, I mean,
if you're down to do that, because some of these songs I have less to say about, but some of these songs I do just kind of want to go give like a track by track briefing on what I thought, because this album took me for a little bit of a ride, and not all was good, not all was bad, but I do want to talk about what I experienced during this album, because this is the first time I've listened to it.
Yeah.
I listened to it for the first time like 6 hours ago, so it's all very fresh, and it most definitely left an impression. But I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, honestly, I'd be willing to go track by track, especially because this is one of those albums where the tracks, like, they're definitely a little bit different from each other.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we can start with Spirit or Vanish, the first song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I'll let you start.
I think that's good. I think that's for the best.
Yeah.
Tick tock.
Well, go ahead, Blaiden, start.
Oh, I thought you said, I think I'll start.
Oh, no, I said if I can let you start.
Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, this recording's going terribly. This is probably our worst recorded podcast ever. I digress. I digress. Spirit They Vanish. So this is a 5.5 minute song. For about 2 minutes, I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
it was really weird. By the end of it, I found myself in a pocket where, um, I could allow myself to take it as it is, and let myself be immersed in the soundscape and the ever evolving textures, and just it's really something unique. And maybe I didn't get all the enjoyment that I could have out of it on first listen, because keep in mind, this is still not only me adapting to the song, but also me adapting to the sound of this album. But by the end of it, I can say that I was pleasantly surprised. Because keep in mind, like I said, I went into this expecting just to hate it, and by this point, I was more hopeful for what I would hear in the future tracks. That's
Yeah.
really all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I mean that is a fair point. I definitely didn't really get the same experience like the first when I first listened to the album and found myself hating the album. The first song was one of my most hated songs from it.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the time, I guess I was still like in a point where I was still exploring music and yada yada. But like the first song, I was like, not only I hated the noise, but like I hated how I don't know. It was like in a very high volume as well. Like it felt like I was getting ear damage when I was listening to it with headphones. It wasn't really the case, but like it felt like it.
Yeah.
And I was scared that the album will have like this giant blast of noise again, which it does one more time
Yeah.
later on. But I mean, I will say this: this is not one of my favorite songs from the album, but I still really like it. I think it's definitely very unique. Definitely kind of a great way to start the album. Honestly,
I
like it.
completely agree. I completely agree. As an intro track, I think it is perfect for this album.
Yeah, like it definitely lets you know what you're into.
Mm-hmm.
uh and like just generally like it has like a very it is probably like the most eerie of all the tracks maybe, but
Yeah.
there is some stiff competitions. uh
Well, I yeah, I don't know about most Eerie, but we're gonna get to that in time. Are you ready for the next one?
yeah. April and the Phantom.
April and the Phantom. You want me to go
Yeah.
first on this one?
I'm sure.
Okay. By this point in the album, I had completely changed my tune. This was the song that completely sold me on everything that this album was going to be going for. At least I thought. Um, yeah, it is like an immediate switch up. You get more traditional. Um, you get more traditional music elements. I don't think there's a whole lot, if anything, traditional about the first song, but in this song it brings back some traditional ideas of rhythm, and also this is where you really get to hear the brushed drumsticks, like that style of percussion. I think everything just adds such a unique layer, and the percussion's really good. I like the way the song winds up and winds down, and then winds up and winds down, almost not out of nowhere, but it sometimes it can hit you like that. I don't know, it's a really good experience. I wish I had more to say about the lyrics, because to be entirely honest, a lot of the lyrics on this album I straight up just didn't catch. And it's not an album that I felt was entirely necessary to be reading the lyrics to anyways. Because I figured that
Yeah.
if it was that necessary, that integral to the album, you would be able to hear them. So maybe that's my bad. Maybe next time I listen to this album, I might put more stock into the lyrics. But that being said, this song is absolutely fantastic. It is in competition as my favorite song here.
Yeah. That is definitely fair. This is my third favorite song here. But I think like even the first time that I listened to the album, I was like, this is one of the better tracks. I do like how like not only how it winds down and winds up, and like the
Mm-hmm.
percussion and how unique it is, but like I really do enjoy like the performance from but in the song as well. Like it definitely has a lot of sporadic sprawling energy. Like
Yeah,
it definitely.
sprawling energy. No one's gonna get that.
Yeah, like it definitely has like it is like a blast of energy that you don't really see anywhere else. Like it feels very unique to the band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know there's the whole like, oh, quiet song got loud, but there's a time and a place, and I think that here with as out of nowhere as it might may come. Um, I don't know. It's a very unique feeling listening to this song, and
Yeah,
I was very sold on the experience.
yeah, like the contrast definitely makes sense because like whenever it goes quiet or loud, it feels like it's in the same nature.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, April on the Phantom. That's like I said before, my third favorite. There's two songs here that I like more, but we'll get to them.
I want to know what you
The
think
next
about
song.
the next one, Untitled.
Oh, oh, dude. Okay, Untitled. Fun fact about this song: I actually used this song one time for one of my older videos.
That might be where I've
Because,
heard it because I've heard this song before. I didn't know that it came from here. Well, I take that back. I did know that it came from here. I have heard this song. It might have been on one of your videos. I'm not positive.
no, yeah, I mean, because I did use it for one of my older videos. And this one is like I guess I'll probably start with this one. This is I guess quote unquote interlude track, but it is when it comes to interlude tracks, it's extremely memorable because it sounds like at the very least in my description, it sounds like you're being I don't know killed in your own home. I don't know how weird that sounds, but like it sounds like you're being murdered like in your own home, but like and you're seeing like I don't know the lights while you're being just stabbed to death. I don't know. I know
It's
it's like
one
a
of
weird.
the darkest songs ever, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's very unsettling. It's very I don't know. It's really interesting. Like I cannot think of a single interlude track that sounds as crazy as this one does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's weird because I hear people talk about. I say people. I've heard Tim talk about. He's like, "Oh, dude, this. You know what? This is such a stupid point to make, but I'll just make it just because I'm positive Tim's gonna listen to this, and if he doesn't, then whatever." He's like, I love the weird, creepy, sneaky nature of the auto, not the bit crushed screaming on Yeezus, and to me, this just does that so much better. Like the screaming and the way it's like altered and manipulated to sound different. Like it's so uncanny. It sounds human yet not human, and that
Hmm.
is it's a very instinctual feeling you know I don't know, it makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand, and I really like that the emotion that this conveys. I like, obviously I'm not playing this in the whip. This isn't a playlist track, it's not something like that, but I think and maybe it does sound a little more abrasive than the rest of the album. Maybe it is out of place in that regard because the rest of the album just doesn't really ever go back. It never goes back to sounding like this, but I do like it regardless. So, interesting little track. My ears hurt, but I do like the environment that it creates. I like the soundscape and I like the textures. And I think that's probably going to be the case for most songs on this album. I like the environment, I like the ambience, and I like the textures.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I have to say.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of ambience, next song, Penny Dreadfuls. This one, like even when I started liking this album, this one took a while to grow on me because like it is
Really?
very yeah, like this is probably my favorite song on the album, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for it at first.
Mm-hmm.
It is because like it is like very meditative in a way. Like it's kind of like out of all the songs, it definitely has like the strongest sense of ambience in that it kind of feels like staring at the sky, like like a night sky.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the XXX Tentacion song.
Oh
You
no,
know,
I'm
you know the
talking
song.
about.
I was staring at the sky.
Oh,
You've never heard that?
I never heard that.
Oh, okay. I need to show you this after that because, dude, that song's bad. But anyways, go on.
Yeah, no, yeah. This song does feel like, I don't know, like it has the strongest sense of ambience. It feels like staring at a night sky. Like it feels very. I love how slow it is. Like it definitely just it feels like it's very enveloping in a way that, I don't know. It has like it's somewhat it's somewhat eerie, but also somewhat magical. I don't know.
Hmm.
This I really love the song.
I completely agree. I felt the same exact way, and especially like the contrast between this song and the previous interlude. I think it put me in the mood, in the mindset to where this song just hit so much harder. I was more than willing to just vibe with the ambience and the swelling nature of the instrumentation here. I really love this track. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to say about it because, like I said, I just listened to it for the first time like 6 hours ago. So not all my thoughts are there, and I don't remember, a ton about the song, or at least enough about the song to commentate on, certain like production elements and stuff. But I thought it was a really nice change of pace after the interlude, and I really liked it. This is up there. This is probably in the upper half of songs on this album for me. Because the next
Yeah,
one is Chocolate Girl. I did not like this song.
really.
There's just nothing like everything, and this is why I wanted to go track by track because everything after Penny Dreadfuls to and until a certain point, every like this middle stretch of songs feels like they were just completely out of interesting ideas. You know
Mm,
what I mean? And not only that, but this is whenever the album feels the most self-impressed. And kind of the entire rest of the album feels self-impressed to some extent. Like, oh, we're doing the loud thing. Oh, we're doing the loud thing. And I don't take too much issue with it because most of the time it works. But for this stretch of songs, this is whenever I was like, okay, this is very self-impressed. It's self-enthused. It's self-amused, rather. And, I mean, the same goes for, the next batch of songs, but like, I don't know. What do you latch on to in a song like Chocolate? Well, first of all, it goes on way too long. The song's out of ideas pretty early on, but I don't know. What do you like about this song, if anything?
yeah, I mean, it is definitely like more traditional than like the first four songs, but I think like it definitely still keeps the like the very fairy tale. Well, I don't know, fairy like, yeah, like the very fairy uh childhood. I was gonna mention this before recording the pod, is that one thing that I really like about this album is that it kind of has like the sense of childhood in a way, like kind of like a combination of like the more magical elements, and kind of like I guess also like sort of the eeriness of childhood, like it combined together into something that definitely feels very of its own thing, of
It
its own
feels
expression.
like it feels like in this album, and I don't know about the lyrics because, like I said, I didn't listen to the lyrics, but I did walk away feeling similarly. Like this does feel like a very, I don't know, but the problem is I like it, and I like it. To me, it comes off as less about childhood and more like the eeriness of nostalgia. Like it feels like the eeriness comes from nostalgia, and the child. Does that make any sense? Like it does. There is a fairy tale nature, but the eerie. Fuck. I don't know. Not all the words are there for this point, but what I'm mainly getting at is it kind of felt like eclectic AJR.
I don't know if I
It felt
I
like eclectic AJR in that sense because I did get like themes of innocence and childhood, but it kind of felt like eclectic AJR in that regard. I don't know, like if AJR was like at all talented musically.
I guess that is true.
Yeah,
Well, but I think it's just generally not just that more talented, but like the sound has taste, and AJR
yeah, yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
does not.
yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
much, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I
Um,
don't. I think Chocolate Girl, like, I think this, like, again, it is more simple, but like, I was still like very immersed by, like, it's very, I don't know, happy, like just very, very like melodies. Like I think performance wise, it definitely feels very enchanting as well. And I don't know, the song never really felt that long to me. Like in fact, when I was listening to the album, I didn't even notice it was 8 minutes. I actually always assume it was like a five. But
I mean, I don't know, agree to disagree. This song went on way too long for me, and it felt like it was out of ideas by like the quarter mark. And not only that, but I think to go back to my point that I completely fumbled on because I'm stumbling over all my words this podcast. It's not a very good time for me to be alive. But what I was gonna say is the eeriness, because I definitely did get themes of innocence and themes of childhood. But it feels like the eeriness comes from, and this is more just like, me reading into it. I don't know if this is intentional at all, but it feels like the eeriness comes from distortions of memory and nostalgia. That's what it felt like to me. But that's just me finishing that point.
I mean, I can see
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, but Chocolate Girl, it's like, no. Was not huge on. It's like a fine song. Like it's I would say it's like a 5 out of 10. It didn't do anything for me, but it wasn't actively offensive or anything, so it's like whatever. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that is fair to an extent. I do think that it is probably not one of my favorites as well, but I don't know. I mean, for what it is, I do really like it. But I can understand where you're coming from.
Everyone
Yeah,
whistling. Who cares?
that is pretty much an intro track. Like
It is,
full on
but who cares?
that. But, yeah.
Do you have anything to say about this?
I mean, not really. It's just kind of like the bridge between
Yo, you are
Chocolate Girl.
Dog, you're cutting out.
Oh, really?
Bad, yeah.
Okay, do I sound well now?
Let me check. I don't know. It could be on my end, but it sounded like you were cutting out. I don't know. There's like a poltergeist or something that straight up just does not want us like recording this podcast because I'm not speaking well. You're cutting out. My dogs were barking. We had to do the intro over again. Like, I think it's over. I think the West is fallen, and I think because of this, we should kill ourselves.
Honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I think you're not really doing that bad, Blaiden. Because like again, one of the reasons why I did want to do this album is because of it is definitely like an interesting album to talk about the first time listening to it, like in a experience way. And I think you're being very interesting at it. So I think you should.
I'm trying to compensate by being funny, right here. But yeah. Anyways, nothing to say about everyone whistling. Next is
La Rapid.
Okay.
Yeah, this is I'm gonna have a hot take with this one. People really like this song. This is personally probably my least favorite of the album.
Mine too.
Like this feels like I don't know. It definitely has like the unique ideas. Like it definitely has like a lot of that screaming, like like the back and forth between April and the Phantom does apply to the song a little bit as well. But I don't know. I was never really the biggest fan of how the song is written. Like something about it feels a little bit forgettable, and I don't know. Like it feels like the only song where like all of the sections don't really feel like they unite something singular. I don't know.
Right.
But
for me, what? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I still do like it, but it is definitely like probably again my least favorite.
For me, what I remember about this track was I don't know. Similarly to the last two, it's like the first half of the song, it's like it just did nothing for me, and then like there are these refrains where he's like, "Oh, an angel, oh, an angel," or something like that. Like it sounds so. I don't know. Like this song just didn't do anything for me other than kind of cringe me out when the guy starts going, "Oh, an angel, oh, an angel," like. That's what he sounds like, though. That's what he sounds like, and it's like by this point, I heard that Android notification sound, you little prick.
Well, Wait, there was
No,
an Android notification. I actually
yeah,
didn't know
on your
you.
end.
I didn't actually heard that.
Oh, I did.
That's
Anyways,
funny.
no, I don't know. By this point in the album, I was like, oh, he is incredibly self-impressed, and yeah. Luckily for me, this is where it ends. This is where the self-impressed. Well, it does continue to be self-impressed, but at this point or past this point, the album picks back up. So it's not that big of a deal to me. But anyways,
Yeah.
that's my take on this song.
Hmm. Um, I will say before we listen to this album, I usually always tend to mash together or confuse this song with the next song, Bad You'll Fly, which is because looking back, Bad You'll Fly is definitely a different song. But at the
Mm-hmm.
very least, definitely has a different vibe. Um, it is. I don't know what to say about this one. It is. Okay, I think you should probably start with this one, Blaiden.
Well, this one for me is annoying because I remember. Okay, this is where the album picks back up. I don't have anything to say about this song, nor do I really remember any of the ideas that it possessed. I just remember thinking, "Yep, this is better than the last three," and it was a breath of fresh air because of that. I don't remember anything specifically that stands out from this song, especially because for me the next song is like it does bring back, I guess, the new ideas and stuff. But no, I don't have anything to say about this one other than this is where I feel like the album picks back up. I don't remember a whole lot specifically from it.
Yeah, well, it is definitely more because like La Rapid and Chocolate Girl were like I guess more fairy tale like, and not to say that this one isn't, but like it definitely has. It sounds more happy in a way. Like it
Mm-hmm.
sounds more that it has like sort of a more romantic energy to it. I don't know if that makes sense, but uh,
Yeah,
yeah. Uh,
sure.
I do really like the song. I don't. I unfortunately don't have a lot to say about it because like a lot of what I have to say again does apply to the album in general. But I do think it's really good. I don't really have any problems with this one. Um, yeah, the next one, I guess quote unquote the third interlude of the album. But again, this is another one that I do think it's memorable.
Is
Someday
this
I'll
one
go.
an interlude?
I don't know. It kind of feels like one, but at the same time, it doesn't. It's like I don't know. It definitely feels like I don't know. It does feel like a song that it kind of builds up, but in sort of a subtle way.
Mm-hmm.
Like because like there's this one I think out of all of them has easily like the least amount of lyrics, but
Yeah.
uh
Well, most of the
yeah
vocals here are just like gated, you know? Like they have
yeah
that LFO type effect and no, I really like the LFO effect on the vocals and the way that they kind of swell in and then fade. Like I don't know. I really like this song. This I don't know, it's weird to say because this definitely isn't this isn't like any of the other songs on this album, but it is one of my favorites pretty easily. I'd say it's like top 3. Um
oh really
Yeah, yeah, no, it's really good. It's really like this. I mean, out of all these songs that I could see myself revisiting outside of album listens, I would say it's probably April and the Phantom, um, and this song. You know,
hmm.
I really like it. I really like it.
Yeah, I do also really like it. Although I will say it does still feel to me like a warm up compared to the last track, Alvin Row, which is
Mm-hmm.
this is not only like the big song on the album because well it's 12 minutes, but like it does feel like a culmination of everything you've seen from the album so far. And added to that, it definitely feels like the most progressive one. Like it definitely feels like it's built into something very magical, very wonder-like. Like
Absolutely.
it even has like a little cute interlude at the end, like the now my singing voice is gone, my singing voice is gone, and I really like that. I think
Yeah.
it's a good touch. This is the second song on the album because like I remember I was talking about how the first time that I listened to it, I was scared that like the big blast of noise will come back, and it did came back for this song, but in its own strange little way, it does work for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like it definitely the way that it transitions like the blast of noise into like the more rising, building up sense of a fairy tale sound. I think it definitely does progress naturally.
Hmm. I was dreading this song throughout the entirety of this album because the app that I use to listen to music on shows you the length of songs. Which I don't know if Spotify does that or not, but the app that I use does. And I saw 12 minutes, and the entire time I was thinking, okay, with as self-impressed as this album has been, I can only possibly imagine this song in particular being especially egregious. And luckily, when I got to it, you don't feel or me personally, I didn't feel the length on this song. To me, it felt like all the ideas that were absent or lacking in the middle most stretch of songs, it felt like any ideas that were there were instead put here in this song because this song is dripping with ideas. It feels like there's always something new to be to latch on to here, and it was definitely an experience. It is most definitely the most progressive song on this album, and I really like it because of that. But I went the entire album dreading this song, and then by the time I got to it, it was pretty good, pretty good. Also one of the best on the album, and yeah, that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Track by
So
track.
overall, how would you say? Like, do you overall like the album, or like what rating would you give it?
I would probably give it a 7. I would say that I liked this album. I understand that people on the internet love this album, and I think whenever I met you guys, it was common to hate the album, but I think since then the tides have shifted. Which I wasn't too aware of any of that. I just I don't know. For some reason I went into this album thinking I was going to hate it. I thought it was just going to be like garbage, and while it is most definitely self-impressed and very self-amused, and it thinks that it's very very smart, it's hard to rag on it too much for that because at the end of the day the ideas that it's self-impressed for are good ideas. It's just that the attitude in which they're employed, I don't know, there's something like subtextual there that I don't know. It does feel a little bit pretentious, but overall I definitely like this album more than I hated it, and even the parts that I hated, they were like mid, you know. There were no moments on this album that were too bad, other than the an angel, oh, a little angel, or whatever it is he says on La Raffet. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, honestly,
Those are my opinions.
I will say because like when you said that you had a lot to say about the album, I was like my predictions was that you either were going to be mixed on it or that you were going to hate it. But I guess I am pleasantly surprised that you
Mm-hmm.
came off of it positively. Because
Yeah.
again, this album does it is definitely a very grower album. Like it is one of those albums where like every single time you listen to it, you pick up something different, something new. Like there are
Yeah, it's
some
like
songs.
Frogman.
Uh, sure.
Yeah. No, Frogman's a grower album. I'm gonna make you see the light one of these days.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate Frogman, but and this I do overall really love it. It is out of all of the albums that I listen to, this is probably on the top 5 when it comes to albums that I've changed my opinion on.
Mm-hmm.
Because like again, the first time that I listened to it, I gave it like a 1. I couldn't stand it.
Damn.
Yeah, I really didn't like it the first time, but
That would be
I
an
do
interesting video.
honestly, yeah, probably. Because like most of the albums that I've changed my opinions on are like, I guess, very weird albums. Because like there's this. And you know what? Should I go ahead and spoil?
No. Save it for a video.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll save it for the video. But Yeah, this album. I mean, again, I do really love. I think it's one of the most unique albums ever made. I think this is my personal favorite from Animal Collective because, like, the later albums, they are very good, but I don't think none of them really captures like the sense of like oddity, and I don't know. It feels like an album that was made by the mind of someone very different, very weird, very like someone that had a very odd something different to express because like I cannot really think of anything else that sounds like this album in particular. Like even when it comes to Animal Collective albums, this one does feel very different. Surprisingly enough, it is not their most weird album though. Their second album is probably the weirdest one, and unfortunately, it's not really for the good reasons. Like this
Oh
one is,
yeah,
yeah. The second one is like, uh, dude, I don't fucking know how to explain the second album. It's like it's bizarre. Like I don't
from
hate the second.
D12.
Sure.
I had to. It was funny.
Hey man, at least you didn't mention the white
Hobson.
boy. Yeah.
Anyway,
Uh, but yeah, the second album, it is honestly, the second album could probably be also an interesting one to listen to, but I'll probably save it for later.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, we should definitely do up to because Merryweather's the third one, right?
no, it's like the 81s.
What?
Yeah, yeah. Let
Oh,
me list.
yeah. I
Let
don't
me
know
list.
anything about these guys. That's crazy,
Yeah,
then.
yeah. Oh, yeah, this is like okay. So yeah, Spirit Are Gone is their first album. Then yeah, the one I'm talking about being like their most weird is the second one. Then like they had like a few others before becoming Animal Collective. Song Tongues was when they no actually no, Here Comes the Indian was when they became Animal Collective, but then you get to Song Tongues, which is when their quote unquote golden age starts to a lot of people.
Hmm.
Like the stretch to from Song Tongues to Merryweather, like it will be Song Tongues, then Fields and Strawberry Jam, and lastly Merryweather will be like considered to be like the golden age of the band, and what's often considered to be the best period of the band. But there's also a lot of people out there that do really like their first album, and it is often grouped to be one of their best. It is just that it comes from a very different era from their golden age.
Right.
And then
Okay.
after that, they just kind of been very hit or miss. But yeah, I mean, Animal Collective is a very interesting band. It is a band that not only had one but two albums that I really didn't like at first, but then grew to like. Merryweather was actually the other one.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like I didn't hate Merryweather as much as Spirit Are Gone, but I still really didn't like it the first time. I thought it was like very, I don't know, sugar coated, very, even kind of autistic in a way. But
Yeah.
I do really, I do really like it. Like it is a very fun album. Like it is very colorful. It is very. It definitely has a lot of their playful qualities.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember because I listened to that album forever ago, and I remember really, really liking it, but it definitely did not leave the impression that this album did. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like to re-listen to it at some point if I ever
Hmm.
get around to it.
Yeah. I mean, I do too, honestly. This is like Merryweather is not in my top three Enco, but like it is a really good album. I can see why this one became like their most popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say against that.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is
Uh
what would you give this album out of 10?
Spirit or Gaunt.
Yeah.
Honestly, a strong 9.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, like this is on my top 25 albums, I think. The only thing that it's skipping from like a 10 is that again, La Rapid is a song that I never been the biggest fan of, but like everything else I do really love. I think it's some of the band's best songs, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, again, honestly, they don't make them like they used to. Like this sense of oddity is not something that you really see in music these days, because like whenever people are trying to make experimental music or weird music, if it has like this sense of, I don't know, fakeness, or that it's trying too hard to be weird, that this one doesn't really have. This one does feel more like, again, an expression from like too odd, but the like for artists.
I completely disagree. I do think that while you're correct that weird stuff nowadays definitely has the, it's trying to be weird. I think that this album has that too. And that goes back into what I'm saying about it feels very self-impressed. But we can agree to disagree. I just think that this album definitely knows that it's weird, and it was trying its hardest to be weird.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think I'm right. So
Yeah. I mean, I guess Tim will agree with you completely, because you know about Tim's opinion on the album, right?
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Yeah, because like this is Tim's least favorite album of all time, which is
Yep.
kind of funny.
Yeah, because I was talking to this with Brant and Ninchi, I think. I said there's got to be like some, because I don't believe in bringing objectivity into art, but there's got to be some like objective measure that says you should not give Swan Songs by Hollywood Undead a 10 and this a 0, because on some objective level, not even saying that this is the most accessible kind of music out there, because it's most definitely not, but it's, not Swan Songs by Hollywood Undead, but I suppose that's a conversation for a different time. We should do Swan Songs at some point, though. We should.
Maybe.
With Ninchi. Would be fun.
That'll be funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But no, I think I've exhausted everything that I could say about this album, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do too. It is, again, I do really love it, and I think that again, it is an album that I can't really think of anything else that sounds like it. So that is one of the things that I really do appreciate about it. But I think we can wrap this up.
Yep. I say 7, you say 9.
Yeah. I guess we can discuss what we're gonna do for the next album.
We could, but we don't have that.
No, I mean, do you remember the other album that I gave you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I think that you like Buconata.
I can give it a spin. I don't know. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of who makes this.
Yeah, I mean, again, it has the one song that people watching this are not going to know what I'm talking about, but it has like the one song that you heard.
But which song was that?
It was Puente.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I don't know. I think you'll probably like it. I think that's another album that I think it will be interesting to talk about. But
should we? So here's the thing. For this album, I knew for a fact I didn't want to do a listening party because I don't know. Like I said, I really expected to hate this album, and so that's kind of what my thought was. But as I started giving the first song a listen, and realizing that I might like this, I really decided that it would be bad to kind of back out of it and do a listening party. Do you want to do a listening party for the next one?
I mean, I don't know. Up to you, because like I'm fine either way.
Okay. I guess we can discuss this some other time, but I don't know who even makes this album.
Oh, it's
I've never heard.
Gustavo Cerati. He's do you know Soda Stereo? Blaiden?
No, but that's I know you like them.
Yeah,
So,
Gustavo Cerati is like the lead singer. Like, Soda Stereo broke up, and this guy decided to make solo music.
mm-hmm.
But I can get more into that when we discuss about the album.
I don't know if this is the album cover. I don't know, some of the art that shows up whenever you look this up on Google, it looks really cool. It is the album cover.
Let me look at it.
Damn. Yeah, no, this is really good. Really good. Oh, Kind of looks like I don't know. It looks like someone's comparing this to "Low" by David Bowie, the album art, and
Oh yeah, you're right.
Similar.
You are in the the right album cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can do that. I guess we can do that next.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I think this was probably our least, and it sucks because this is an album that I really want to talk about. I think this was us at our least articulate.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
It's definitely me at my least articulate.
Yeah, I mean, I guess even me, because like I've listened to this album plenty of times, but like this is the first time that I listened to it in, I don't know, 2 years. So I guess I am a little bit rusty on it.
It's not even that. I think it's just the fact that I've been on the phone since like 6 o'clock and it's 10. You know, I think I'm a little exhausted vocally, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I tried my best, and I think it's best if we just close this out.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you not only in the next podcast, but like next week I'm gonna be dropping a new normal video that I'm working on, and I think it's looking to be really good. Like I think this is probably gonna be maybe my favorite video that I'm making so far. But you know, you'll see it when it comes. My dear viewers. Tren,